Okay, so we're going to go through 13 commands that are useful for troubleshooting or general system administration. So we're going to use a command line, command prompt. So to do this, go to the start bar, type in CMD. I want to right click on this and run as administrator. So that's sort of popped up on the bottom screen, so I'm going to move that in so you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to go through, like I say, 13 of these tasks. I'm going to start with the slow ones and I'll work my way to the quicker ones and give a brief explanation of each one. So the first one is SFC scan now, which is to check for any integrity violations in the file system. So if you think you've got a virus or malware or something like that, this would be a useful tool to run. And that's going to take some time. Depending on your file system, it could take up to sort of 15 minutes. I'm going to open up another command in the meantime, just because you can have multiple command prompts open. And again, we'll have that one running separately. So next one's going to be check disk. So you can check certain volumes, and it tells you the file systems for a Windows PC. So the file system's NTFS. This is basically checking for any errors or any data problems within the system. So if you've maybe got bad blocks or bad sectors on the drive, this could pick that up, could correct it if you're lucky. If not, you might be going down to the shop to buy a new SSD or hard drive if you're old school. But that's run pretty quick. It's a new drive. It's a new installation of Windows, so it has run pretty quick. Like I say, you can do it per volume and speed things up. So you want to do it to C drive or D drive, etc. And you can also do it to external USBs and things like that. Okay, so that's that one. So let's go to the next one. Let's go system info. So this is going to show a mix of software and hardware that's on this piece or on this laptop. So it gives you the host name, OS version, build, registered owner, that's me, manufacturer is Dell Latitude, E5420, it's a old laptop, BIOS version 2013, so very old. I didn't even realise it was that old myself. But a good tool if you're working remotely and you want to see if a particular PC's got the latest BIOS version. It's a very quick way of finding out that information. So it shows what memory's in the machine, hotfixes that have been installed, network card information, etc. So again, another very useful tool to use. Let's do the next one. So power, CFG, energy. Okay, so this is going to show sort of power consumption on this particular machine. Now, this is useful for a laptop because you can see any improvements that can be made to save battery life, or do your bit for the environment, such as sleep mode. If the power's plugged in, does it go into sleep? If it's on battery itself, how long does it go into sleep, etc. It will give recommendations, it'll give warnings, etc. And it should create a HTML file shortly that we can see all the information on there. So just wait for that to come through. It won't take long, so it's saying it's going to take 60 seconds. Should be any time now. Should populate that information. Here we go, it's coming soon. Okay, so that's where the sort of file is located. So if we go into the C drive, energy report up. Okay, so here we go. So here's the HTML version. It's give us quite a few different errors here. There's a power policy on display time on battery plugged in. So if you've got nothing set currently, so we're not doing our bit for the environment, and potentially we're going to kill our battery over time. So it does also give a sort of short breakdown of what it's found. So 14 errors, 21 warnings, and 25 informational statements. So again, another useful tool if you want to sort of create the perfect power efficient machine. And again, it's more useful on batteries than on PC. So in the meantime, this integrity scanner has finished, and it's not produced any integrity violations. So that's good to know. That's good that my clean install of Windows 10 is okay, and I've not currently got any viruses or anything like that. So I'm going to close that down because it's just in the way at the moment. So we've done quite a few so far of the slow ones. Let's go into some quick ones. So ARP is mapping IP addresses to MAC addresses of devices I've connected to or I am connected to. So we've got the router default gateway and the physical address, the MAC address of them devices. So again, another useful diagnostic tool or information tool. Next one is going to be get MAC. This is getting MAC address information. So that's showing the network card information of this PC or this laptop that I'm on. So I've got two there. I've got one that's got information. So I'm on a Wi-Fi network, so I'm going to assume that the top one is a Wi-Fi card and the bottom one is disconnected. I've not currently got an Ethernet cable plugged in, so that's going to be that one. Now, if I want to be sure, I can go a step further and put this information into a table. Now that is get MAC FO table /v. Okay, so again, it gives you more information here. So we've got Wi-Fi, Intel Centrino Wi-Fi card with a physical address, and the Ethernet adapter with Broadcom with a physical address. So again, if you had loads of virtual machines running or you had multiple cards in a server, it would give you a lot more information than I've got here. Okay, the next one is just a simple host name, just gives you the PC name. Again, if you're working remotely, you can map that PC name against an inventory list to make sure you're fully aware of the hardware or software that should be installed in a particular machine. Okay, on to the next one. So we're moving through pretty nicely at the moment. So we've got IP config. Just gives a breakdown of a summary of the IP addresses that we're currently working with. So IP address of the machine is 192.168.0.12 subnet mask, and default gateway, generally the router address. So if I want to get some more information with that one, we'll go IP config /all, and that gives a lot more information. It gives you information about the physical address and MAC address, network card information, the date and time of the lease. So when the lease expires, I will need to be the IP address renewed, which will be provided by DHCP from the router. And then, there's just plenty of information here about the different network cards and network services running. So again, take that a step further. And then if I wanted to release the IP address or get a new type release, now I'm not going to do that because it's going to kill the network, kill the video. But you'd also type in renew after that. So you release the IP address and renew the IP address. So again, another good troubleshooting tool if you're having network problems. Okay, on to the next one. We'll go ns lookup www.google. Let's keep it simple. Google.com. So this is my router, Sky router. That's the default gateway, 192.168.0.1, and this is basically mapping Google.com to an IP address of that server. So 142.250.200.4 is the IP version 4 address of that server. So that's a useful tool if you want to look up that information for whatever reason. So let's go to the next one. Go to task list. So this gives you a list of all the current programs running in the background, and the right hand column is the memory usage. So if you've got the system running slow, you can bring up all that information. You can also identify any malicious programs running that can be putting a burden on your system, put burden on your memory usage. So let's put this into practice. Let's open a Notepad. Okay, so I've got Notepad open. Notepad's not currently in this list because it's not open, so you can see no Notepad. That's good. So let's run it again. Let's go task list. Okay, so we've got notepad.exe here. So let's kill that task. So this one is task kill, and then /im, and then we need to write im slash, and then it's we need to write the actual file name out. Okay, I've got that the wrong way around. I did it right first time. Okay, so it's terminated that program. So as you see, it disappeared in the background there. And then if I run it again, I'll put task list. Notepad's not running there. Okay, so this is like Task Manager, but again, if you're working with servers, you might not have a simple, mouse to hand. You might be working remotely or whatever. You might be in a data center. So command line tools are more useful than point and click on a graphical user interface like Task Manager. Okay, so let's go to our next one, netstart -a. So it's giving a list of all active TCP and UDP connections, and this is going to go on for quite some time. Again, if you've got loads of applications that are internet intensive or use an internet resource, it's going to run for a long time. So it's good for identifying, again, rogue programs that might be utilising an internet resource. So if I just press Ctrl+C and cancel that. Next one, we'll go trace. So we'll go to the network diagnostic ones here. So trace RT stands for trace route, and then we'll go google.com. Okay, so this is going to show the hops. So a hops is a router address between me typing this into my laptop and it can get into google.com. So it says it's going to do it over a maximum of 30 hops. Usually we get there in sort of less than 10, but let's see how far this goes on. So remember, I've got to connect to my internal router, and then the router's got the ISP side to go out into the wide area network. So 7 hops. Again, if you want to sort of see where problems might lie in a network, you'll notice the speed difference between hops. And if you've got a large network, or you want to see particular where a router might be misconfigured, it'll get to that certain point and not go any further. Okay, so finally, just the last one, which should be quick and probably the one that we know the most of, is just ping google.com. So that's just seeing if a host is reachable. Google.com is reachable. So again, if you know an IP address of a machine on your network, that is where you would type in the IP address, or you can do it to a domain like Google. Okay, so that's our 13 command lines for system administration, basic system administration or basic troubleshooting.